Ignoring the idea of teepees and wigwams, how did the chiefs in the Cherokee Nation actually live? And better yet, what happened to Chief Vann's palatial mansion? Hi everyone, Ken here. Hit that like button and let's begin exploring this house. In the 1760s, Chief James Vann was born into the Cherokee Nation in modern-day South Carolina. His father had been a European settler who ran a trading post, and his mother had come from a long line of chiefs in the Cherokee Nation. Unlike those of European descent, the Cherokee had a matrilineal system in which status and property were passed down through the mother, making James Vann a rightful chief in the Cherokee Nation. From an early age, he helped to defend his tribe from the ever-expanding colonies, leading his men into battle to not only protect his tribal land, but to ward off settlers and reclaim his territory. As time went on and the United States government was formed, Chief Vann strategized that the best way forward for his people was to embrace the best of Western society, which meant trading through business contracts and bringing European schools to his towns. He invited the Moravian Brethren to his land to set up a school, with him providing all the necessary resources. In doing so, not only did his people prosper, but James amassed a stockpile of gold. While no true figure could be placed on his fortune, by 1800 he was speculated to be the wealthiest man in southern North America. In a time and a region where most people lived in simple, usually log homes, James Vann set out to build a mansion. He hired architects to design a house that would blend key characteristics of both the federal and Georgian styles. And while the house might not be considered a mansion by today's standards, it was the most lavish residence within days of travel at the time of its construction. Not only this, but Chief Vann's house reportedly became the first in the Cherokee Nation to be built of brick, with its exterior walls fortified at a staggering 18 inches thick. The house was planned to be surrounded by 800 acres of plantation, with over 100 slaves to labor the fields, much in the same fashion as the southern plantation owners in the United States. Throughout his life, Chief James made countless enemies, both inside and outside of his tribe, so it was no surprise that his life ended up being cut short. In 1809, he was shot at a tavern, and without witnesses and with so many probable suspects being named, the murderer was never identified. In his will, James broke the traditions of the Cherokee people and passed his estate and title down to his middle son, Chief Joseph Vann, who was simply known as Rich Joe. His inheritance included over 2,000 acres of land, the family plantation, and $200,000 worth of gold, the modern equivalent of over $5 million in gold. Rich Joe immediately set out to renovate the mansion, updating it to reflect the family's social status. His renovations included intricate millwork and a floating staircase in the entrance hall. The interior was then painted in vibrant colors, including green, blue, yellow, and red in every room. While this color scheme was common at the time, these colors were rarely seen side by side in the same room, and as we are currently seeing in the drawing room, the result was striking. The dining room continued these themes, with each color and texture paying tribute to the concept of the elements, meant to be reminiscent of the waters, forest, clay, and crops. Rich Joe was so well connected that he even hosted founding fathers such as James Monroe, who stayed in the guest room in 1819. Rich Joe enjoyed many comfortable nights in his bedroom, but before we get to the impending tragedy, we still have much more to see. Up on the third floor we find the boys' room, where his sons would sleep. Enclosed off beyond the privacy of a door was his daughter's room. In a separate brick and log building near the house, we will find the kitchen. Having a separate kitchen was common at the time, especially in the hot and humid climate. It would keep the house from getting warmer than it needed to. All was running smoothly for Rich Joe until he unwittingly broke a single law in Georgia. He hired Mr. Howell, a white U.S. citizen, to manage his plantation. Unfortunately, it was illegal at this time for a white man to work for anyone who wasn't white. Colonel William Bishop stormed the property with the Georgia Guard and forced the chief and his family to vacate. Simultaneously, the state of Georgia had illegally raffled Cherokee land, including the house, to a Mr. Spencer Riley, who claimed he had a right to occupy it. Rich Joe and his family had lost it all, being vanquished to Oklahoma on the Trail of Tears. The house then passed hands no less than 17 different times, with each new owner deferring maintenance to the next. By the 1950s, it was missing most of its roof, and the ornate millwork had sustained serious damage from being exposed to the elements. The house was then sold one last time in 1952 to the Georgia Historical Commission. Thankfully, the Chief Vann House historic site in Chatsworth, Georgia has been fully restored and open to the public. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in the comments section, and while you're there, make sure you are subscribed so you never miss an exciting episode of This House.